Hey, do you know one of the worst things a human being can do? It's to betray another person's trust. And believe it or not, it happens all the time. Yes, all the time. Every single moment, someone is betraying another person's trust in some of the most cowardly ways imaginable. I hate humanity. But what fascinates me the most is that people can be unbelievably kind and compassionate. I love humanity. So much so that it's hard to imagine that someone like that could ever have bad intentions. To help you explain what I mean, I want to tell you two stories. The truth is, I have a lot more than just two, but these are the ones I'll share with you today. When I was younger, my family and I used to live on one of the main avenues in my city. One day, my mom noticed a homeless man sitting under a tree along that avenue, and he stayed there the entire day. That wasn't unusual though. People spend time there all the time. It was a popular place to relax, stretching across a large part of the city. From morning to night, you will always see people walking around, meeting friends, having picnics, just enjoying the life. But that man was clearly homeless. He looked like the very image of suffering, as if he hadn't had anything to eat or even a glass of water for who knows how long. By the night came, my stepfather was returned from work and the man was still there. My mother told him quickly what was going on, and I remember them putting together some food and water so he could eat that night and have something for the next day. They also gave him a few blankets and a mattress, so he could spend the night at least with a little more dignity. That may not sound like much, but it's not as if they could simply take in a complete stranger and have him live with us. And besides, we live in a country that in many ways should be rich, yet so many people struggle just to survive. Back then, my family was no different. I still remember my younger brother had to be hospitalized, and my parents were selling almost everything we owned just to pay for the treatment he needed. What an example. Thank God for the family that raised me. Now, here's the second example. I work for an internet service company, and if you didn't know, it can be a dangerous job. We often work around power lines, even though we don't receive proper electrical training. The training we do get is online and very basic compared to the situations we face every day. That's why we are supposed to work in pairs. The idea is simple. Because we are constantly exposed to danger, whether we are at customer's house or out in the road, one person can always help the other if something goes wrong. So my coworker and I were doing an installation job while he was climbing the utility pole. I was managing the line from the ground because we were working in a very busy area, so we had to be extra careful. As I was moving the cable back and forth, my coworker was adjusting things up on the pole. I heard a man walking up to a small store about 30 feet from me. He wasn't wearing a shirt. He had a cap on and he smelled really bad. And it was an incredibly hot day. Really hot. My coworker and I were practically melting inside our uniforms. The man walked up on the store owner and said, "Good morning." The owner replied, "Good morning." Then the man asked, "Could you please give me some water? It doesn't even have to be cold. Tap water is fine. I'm dying of thirst." The moment I heard that, all of my attention shifted to those two men. I turned around immediately and just stood there, frozen, waiting to see what would happen next. I completely forgot about my coworker and the job we were doing, which was the last thing I should have done in a situation like that. I mean, just imagine. My friend could be heavy up there in danger, and I was on the ground minding someone else's business. Then the store owner looked at him and said, "Just wait a second." He walked into the store and came back with a meal and a bottle of ice-cold water. It looked really cold. To be honest, I was almost jealous because I was dying of thirst too. He handed the man the food and the water, gave him a hug, and said, "I can't give you food every day, but whenever you're thirsty, you can come here and I'll make sure you have water." And you might be wondering, why didn't he just give the man a job? The truth is, we were in a very poor neighborhood. The stores there were small, family-run business, and most of them survived with the most bare minimum. The shop owner was probably doing everything himself. Hiring someone just wasn't an option. Those were just two examples, but I think that's enough to show you that this kind of thing happens all the time, at least where I live. So when I was thinking about what to talk about in my next video, the one you're watching right now, I remembered a news story I had seen some time ago. Several homeless people, including children, were being rushed to the hospital. They were extremely sick, suffering terribly, because, believe it or not, someone had poisoned them. You might even be thinking, who cares about homeless people? They're just a bunch of people who don't want work. But I don't know, I don't know what those people's lives have been like. And I'm not here to judge them, or you. But can you really say the same thing about the children who are living in those circumstances? You might also be thinking, someone showing up and handing out free food to homeless people, that sounds a little suspicious. But honestly, it isn't. Things like that happens all the time. I personally know someone who does it. One of my coworkers, along with his wife and some friends, gets together every winter to make a huge pot of soap. They collect donated clothes, load everything on their old van, and drive to different parts of the city to hand out warm meals and winter clothes to the people living in the streets. And the truth is, it happens all across the country. Just imagine, you're in a situation of extreme need and vulnerability. Then, out of nowhere, someone appears in front of you like an angel, reaching out a hand to help, offering you exactly what you need. "Hey bro, I gotcha." "Ooh, thank you." I'm dying. Ha! Even children were involved. How can someone do something like that to the most innocent and pure beings on the earth? Things like that make me stop and think. I hate humanity.